Good evening, everyone. Varda here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 for our Tomb Kings playthrough. At the end of the last episode, we defeated a skink chief in the employ of Kroq, and, well, he died. Kroq did reappear to take control of the army shortly after. We also lost the Casket of Souls, but I decided I was going to eat the income hit, because we should be taking a number of cities, the Serpent Coast, the Cursed Jungle, etc., very quickly, and that should resupply the funds and allow us to keep topping up Khalida's army as we go. Our northern border was temporarily besieged by Gofir, the underling? What do we call him? The Herald of Khorne, there we go, of Skarbrand. And so far, our eastern front has been nice and quiet, though we are preparing to put down the final upgrade in Lamir. We've begun building up our military infrastructure by putting some of the extra military buildings in, allowing us to grab some extra tomb guard. But Kroq has reappeared. Our foe has slunk back out from hiding, and I think that means that we need to
High Queen Khalida.
strike while the iron is hot, I believe is the expression. Khalida's army is a little bit battered, but it is still the stronger of the armies, and Kroq's army is still reeling as well. So, we are going to attack with Khalida, reinforcing with Rakash. And now we have a choice to make. We can pursue Kroq, which I think is what we're going to do, or we could besiege the Cursed Jungle. We'll deal with the Cursed Jungle once we've dealt with Kroq. He is by far the bigger threat, and this is supposed to be a decisive victory, but I think that's more because of the two armies. Let's get ourselves onto the field and defeat our foe. We'll save the auto-resolves for piddling garrisons and take the interesting fights where we can. Okay, the plan is simple. We have our infantry over here on the hill. They are going to push forward, secure the hill, guard the flank. Over on this side, we have our Sepulchral Stalkers. They didn't go quite as far out as I was hoping, but we can rectify that now. And we have our Tomb Scorpions with the Necrotect and the Ushabti guarding this pass here with Khalida. We'll wait for the reinforcements while shelling them with artillery, and if they come to us, well, they come to us. We'll just rally the Horsemen and the Scorpions in from that reinforcing army. It should be a relatively straightforward fight, but Kroq is very scary. He's a very strong lord, so let's not underestimate him. As the battle starts, we can see that the artillery is beginning to shell the enemy. Its shots arcing over the hill and colliding with the Saurus warriors immediately. Nice shots there from the Casket of Souls as well. It looks like the Skinks and Saurus, mainly Saurus actually, I think, are going to get shelled. We can see some answering fire coming from Kroq into one of our Tomb Scorpions. Oh, that did an impressive amount of damage. Holy. Right, well, we'll drop a heal on him. We'll move him into the woodlands. We don't want to lose any of our expensive units. Now that they're actually getting closer to the hill, we're going to push our infantry up a little bit to grant a shield to our archers. And our archers will begin firing momentarily. Once the archer volleys start coming in as well, even though there is some tree cover, we should start seeing a drastic difference to the speed in which the lizards are losing forces. I'm going to send a Tomb Scorpion here into the Feral Stegodon. We'll start rallying the Ushabti into the spears. We'll get the other Tomb Guard involved as well. Over on this flank, it looks like Kroq is planning on committing himself, but I don't want to deal with that. So for now, while the Ushabti are in the combat, we'll move our archers forward a little bit so they can shell down the hill. And we'll start pushing the Tomb Guard as well, just to start giving ourselves as much of an advantage as we can. The Razadon hunting packs cannot be allowed to go unchecked, so the artillery is going to focus on them. And we are going to quickly drop the Legions of Asaph in there as well. The Sepulchral Stalkers were intercepted. However, they are more than a match for what intercepted them, so I am not overly concerned. Khalida is in this fight. It is looking dangerous. We have popped a couple of her buffs. It looks like she's mainly fighting the Stegodon right now, but the Ushabti will find themselves with some trouble as well if this doesn't change quickly. We'll pop her damage resistance, we'll get that down. I think the Ushabti are probably going to go down in this fight, which is unfortunate. We have our cavalry lords, so let's get them into the fray. I'm going to pull the Ushabti out if I can. They do have leadership. Our reinforcements are arriving. Let's get the cavalry to the front lines as quickly as we can. Let's not lose Khalida, because that would cause some problems. So for now, I think I'm going to try and get Sekop out of there by charging a couple of units in. We'll get our other lords down that hill as well. Kroq is relentless right now. He is chasing pretty hard, but he is losing a lot in terms of his own forces as well. He is surrounded. His morale is dropping. It'd be risky to send Khalida in, but I'm going to trust in the charge. I'm going to pop the leadership buff. Come on, Khalida, get in there. Looks like with the other lords and the Tomb Prince arriving on the scene, Kroq has decided that he would be better off elsewhere. And you know what? I am inclined to agree with him on this occasion. We are now going to get our Sepulchral Stalkers, such as they are, into these remaining Bastillodons with solar engines and whatnot. And we're also going to send our Lich Priest from the other army up here. But they did run, they are routing, and that means that whatever's left when the full shatter comes through is all going to die. A decisive victory for the Tomb Kings today. And Kroq once again bites the dust. Oh dear! It would appear in my negligence we have lost a unit of Tomb Guard, though they will be easily replaced. So I'm not too worried about that. We are going to go for army replenishment. And then, as Rakash gains a chariot, we are going to enter the Entombed Beneath the Sands for the extra global recruitment. And once again, we're going to throw in that unit of Tomb Guards. We're not losing too much EXP, which is very nice. Because honestly, that's the main downside to losing an army of that strength. Here in Karagarud, we are still waiting one more turn for the wall to complete. So I suppose we will just have to keep waiting. Let's check our mortuary cult. Can we do anything? We can! We can awaken for 600 gold and 200 Knopic jars. Sidion's Legion of the Netherworld. Sure, we could use some extra regiments of renown, I'm sure. So we'll get that up and running. The plan for next turn is to take the Cursed Jungle, garrison it, and then move one of our armies down to the Serpent Coast so that we can secure this territory in its entirety.
High Queen Khalida.
Looking at our level ups, I've done some of this off camera, not a lot, but we are working on getting to the second half of the blue tree here. so that we can get the extra recruitment capacity, but also lightning strikes so that we can increase our reinforcement speed and delay our enemies. Sorry, just had to double check. That's what it does. It does enable lightning strike battles when reinforcements are present and 50% delay to the enemy, which is always very good. Let's see what Sokot needs. He is currently working his way down the melee combatant tree because we currently don't have any of you know what, we're going to try this out. I would really like a Hydra Titan. So I'm going to put Master Hydra Titan Sculptor. Does that add a Hydra Titan to recruitment? It doesn't, does it? No, I didn't think so. You still need the local building by the or the building by the look of it, but oh well. Experiment conducted. We're going to very quickly throw another point into this incantation of desiccation so that we can hex our enemies into ineffectual combat. And for Rakash's army, I'm not sure how all of them gained experience because they basically showed up and looked pretty, but I'm not going to complain. They basically showed up and looked pretty, but I'm not going to complain. We are going to give him Petra the Great Father to boost up the Tomb Kings. I just had a quick look through what they do, and that looks like the Tomb Guard, sorry, not the Tomb Kings, are what that's going to boost up, so that'll be all to the good. Here we are going to throw some more points into combat efficiency. We're going to give him some more melee attack. We're going to give the Necrotect the Wrath of the Creator for that passive damage increased, and we are going to very quickly work our way down Soul Blight so that we can debuff some of our enemies and begin moving towards the Purple Sun of Zerius and the Fate of Bajuna. Some nasty spells in the Law of Death. And with that, we are going to end turn 69. Nice. And I'll see you in turn 70. Okay, at the start of turn 70, Rakash is going to march his forces to the Cursed Jungle and win a decisive victory, claiming the city for us, and also unlocking some more Tomb Guard for recruitment. So, we can get one extra unit of Tomb Guard, it looks like. In that case, bye-bye Skeleton Warriors. Let's recruit an extra unit of Tomb Guard. And we can get rid of... I think I'm going to get rid of the Horse Archers because I don't really like them. I don't think they add much to this army. They might if we were fighting other things, but I would rather have Rakash with 2 more units of Ushabti. And then, let's see. Let's just get rid of another unit of Swordsman here to put another Tomb Scorpion into the army, just to flesh it out. And he can do some recruiting for this turn. Khalida is going to begin moving backwards through our own territory next turn, but she is currently recruiting. Actually, hang on. We can do this now. This is probably the smarter way of doing it. Let's throw a global recruitment in there because he's going to have to stay there while the Tomb Scorpion recruits anyway. And then we can retreat Khalida further into our own territory while she replenishes and recruit the 1-turn unit of Tomb Guard. And then she will be able to go back and take the Serpent Coast. Taking a quick look around our settlements, Gorfyrd is still standing there looking mildly threatening, but he's not going to do anything to King Pertwit. And Carreg O'Rud has finished its walls, giving us some extra Nekara warriors. Not the strongest garrison, but it'll do. We can't yet upgrade Lamia, so that is going to end it for turn 70. In turn 70, we moved High Queen Khalida closer to the Serpent Coast, which she is now going to take in decisive fashion, as is her wont. And we have now secured the province of the Kingdom of Beasts. We are going to very quickly switch over to the Control and Corruption. And in this, the Crater of the Walking Dead, we are going to go for minus 10% cost to all building and extra income. The reason we're doing that is that things are rather expensive, so I don't particularly want to spend all of that money if I don't have to. I'm going to move King Pertwit, or whatever his name is, back. And I think at some point I am going to send Khalida just to dispatch of the orcs. Because quite frankly, I'm getting fed up with the orcs walking all over our territory. We currently cannot afford another Tomb King, which is a crying shame, but we will soon be able to build up the Necropolis. With a 10% reduction, that'll be about 11k, so we'll be able to pick that up next turn. And then after that, maybe we can begin saving to get ourselves a new Tomb King. During the turn rollover to turn 73, a couple of interesting things happened. Kroq begged us for peace, and he was, of course, swiftly disabused of that notion. The orcs, under Mash One Finger of the Top Knots clan, declared war on us for reasons passing understanding. And it looks like Vicious Gobspit, I always want to say Gobjit, is trespassing. We can declare war without suffering any treachery penalties, so maybe we declare war on him and just get rid of that army. It's a bunch of savage orcs. I'm not going to bother fighting it. It's going to give it to me much more easily than it would actually be on the battlefield. So we're going to take the extra money, accept the extra movement range, move the camera the wrong way because I'm clever like that, and then move back towards the cursed jungle.
Bring me Neferata's head.
Ornery Foe Spike has like 2 units, and quite frankly, I just want rid of the orcs at this point. They've been roaming around my territory, raiding and whatnot for a while. Alright, that means that in Lamia we can get the Necropolis up and running. And then when that completes, we can move on to getting some of those really cool units that we don't currently possess. We are going to upgrade the Crypt Barracks in Rosetta, the Crypt Barracks to a Royal Barracks in Karak Zorn, and in Karak Zorn, because we are very good on public order here. I was thinking perhaps about marching our army down and round towards the Golden Tower, but I think that is overkill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave Karak Zorn for now. Actually, Yeah, I'm gonna leave Karazhan for now. Like, there is no real threat to it unless an army comes up from Tic-Tac-Toe to L'Aqua. Because Cetra and the Wood Elves hold the lands directly underneath us. In the Temple of Skulls, we will also put an upgrade into the Quicksand Swamp, making it an ancient battle site so that we can get more cavalry. Taking a quick look at our points, we are going to put Attend Me into Khalida so that she can start working on Lightning Strike, as previously stated. And for King Rakash, we are going to give him... Revered Stonemasonry, because he has some Ushabti, and we'll start working on Stone Sentinels for the Tomb Scorpions as well. King Jenna is going to get a point in Conqueror. Prince Simudes is going to get another point in Blade Master, upping his melee attack. And we are going to put a point in Aspect of the Dread Knight for Ashaka. Finally, our Necrotect is going to gain an extra increased mobility to help out King Rakash. We're going to have a quick look at what buildings are available. And given that there don't appear to be any that I want and or need, we are going to roll the turnover. I'll see you guys on the other side. It looks like King Jenna is going to be heading back to Karazhan. I was moving him away to be in closer proximity to Karagarud, but I have spotted Tic-Tac-Toe's main army moving through, and quite frankly, I don't want to put up with that. So, we are going to move King Rakash into the Cursed Jungle, where he is going to replenish. High Queen Khalida is going to come and mash one finger. Wait, she really can't reach him? Hang on. Damn. He managed to just wriggle out of our way this time, and I am not a fan of that. That is very annoying. Over here, we might be able to get King Petut, or whatever his name is, some action. So I'm going to move him here just to try and cut off some of the other armies. Over here, do we want an extra Ushabti? Not right now, because I'm actually planning on saving up for another army so that we can have some extra forces to guard our borders. Although I think part of that is coming from a hangover to the fact Tomb Kings are very weak early, but we're kind of getting past that point now. We're getting a lot of strong stuff in our armies. With that being said, Sikop is getting over my dead body for some extra movement speed. That's going to help him keep up with the Tomb Scorpions, make sure that he is in range to heal them as and when. I see how he was able to move. He used the underway stance. That's why we can't catch him. Interesting. Okay. We're going to end the turn, and hopefully we catch Mash One Finger. But if we don't, I might just ignore him and send this lord to go and dispatch of his army. Although whether or not this lord would actually be able to is debatable given the army quality difference. So maybe, now that he has moved, we can actually... I mean, what's available? Okay, we can actually get quite a few Nehekara warriors into this guy's army instead of basic swordsmen. So let's just boot basic swordsmen to get Nehekara warriors in. And then we can actually boot out the rest of the swordsmen to recruit some archers. So maybe he's not going to be cutting anyone off, but he is going to have a much stronger army when all is said And done. And that, of course, is a good thing. So we're going to end the turn, and we'll see what happens. Okay, at the end of the turn, the orcs did offer us peace, the Skull Takers. I said no, because quite frankly, sod them. Nubsub did manage to get just out of range using underway stance, so we'll finish recruiting archers into this army while we position next to him. Looks like Khalida will be able to catch Mash One Finger, hopefully. Oh, he can't run, he's an underway stance, that is correct. So, we are going to auto-resolve that, it's not worth fighting, it's just a bunch of orcs. And we are going to take the treasury and the movement range, so that we can begin marching our way back to the Cursed Jungle, so that we can take on Teot? I don't know, whatever that settlement Kroq is in is called. Rakash is going to get the siege underway. He has fully replenished, he has a strong army of his own, and he is going to besiege the settlement and wait for Khalida. We're nearly back at 10,000 gold, which is what I need should I want to recruit another army. But I think I also need a lot more canopic jars, is that correct? It is. Okay, so instead of that then, because it's pointless saving that much money, let us begin to invest in infrastructure. More walls for Karag Arud and for Lamia. These are cities that sit right on our border, and we want them to be as well protected as possible. Over in the Temple of Skulls, we are going to invest into more Ushabti. And there's no siege equipment, as I have been handily reminded. Not that I really need it, but we are going to take it. Khalida did receive Orcsbane, but we aren't going to be fighting too many more orcs. So I don't think that's hugely relevant. We're just going to drop some skill points in now. And then once we've done that, we will get ourselves into position to launch the siege against Kroq, and then, you know, at that point it will just be the end of his faction. If he dies again, he has one more settlement and he won't be able to defend it. That much is pretty obvious. In fact, he doesn't even have one more settlement. He was at war with Tic-Tac-Toe. What? In fact, Tic-Tac-Toe is neutral with us right now because of our war with the last defenders. I didn't see that coming. So maybe we won't be instantly thrown into another war against the lizards, though I doubt favourable relations will last particularly long.
Answer your queen.
Okay, I'm going to move Khalida over to fight Kroq. If nothing else happens, I'll see you there in a couple of turns. Okay, at the start of turn 76, although Khalida hasn't quite made it to Teotiqua? I don't know how to say that. King Rakash was forced back, but he is going to go and besiege again. And the reason he's going to go and besiege again is just so that Kroq can't recruit anything while we're moving in. Okay, Kroq is going to sally forth, but it would be a Pyrrhic victory if we were to take it, and Khalida is one turn away, so I am going to retreat. We'll let Khalida take the Bastion, and we'll deal with this on the new turn. Queek wants peace. For now, I'm happy to take that. That secures our northern border. I'd rather deal with Scarbrand, if I'm honest. The Skull Takers are going to sack Libaris. Wow, okay. Well, now I'm just getting annoyed. Let's bring Jenna back. We're not at war with Tic-Tac-Toe just yet, so we can do that. And let's cast the Great Incantation of Kassar. This is going to cause attrition to the Orcish armies in our region, and that should hopefully allow us to get a bit of an advantage in fighting them. I am annoyed that Libaris was sacked, but it looks like it didn't actually do all that much damage, so we'll just have to hope that it stays that way. Karagorud was hit by some beastmen, apparently. No idea. Let's get some military buildings up there, and then let's get Khalida to encircle this settlement. She will besiege it. Looks like Kroq was able to recruit. Not sure how, but sure. And we will move King Rakash in just behind. Make sure that he is in reinforcement range. And then we will begin the siege. Today, warriors of Libaris, Kroq and his legions of lizards will fall before the might of Nehekara. Prepare yourselves, there is no defeat. There is only victory, and the restless march of the Tomb Kings. To start this battle, we are deploying much the same strategy as last time. We are getting our Tomb King warriors to storm up the walls. Once there, they will be able to wreak havoc popping down. We'll avoid the big clumping problems we have occasionally had. Our elite units are going to come up behind the gate so that when the Tomb Scorpions open it, they can get themselves into the settlement along with Khalida. The artillery here is in charge of shooting down this fort tower, and then shooting basically whatever is in the settlement that's not going to cause me issues with friendly fire. Let's see that that's going to be taken down relatively quickly. We do have Sand Veil. I don't think we'll end up using it a lot. It hides a unit, and most of the units I want to be hidden are hidden already. So we're going to save the legions of Asaph. We are waiting here for King Rakash and his reinforcing army. But now that the gates are down, I see no reason to wait. We shall begin our conflict immediately. Kroq has found himself bottled up in the gate, and we are going to put as much as we can into the settlement around him. Though, it must be said that he's quite a beefy boy. He could delay us for a little while in getting through this gate, which I would not be the biggest fan of, but, you know, it has been known to happen. Right now, while our forces get into range, we will move our archers closer to the wall so they can begin their arced fire. Our Tomb Scorpions are taking some heavy damage right now, so let's get the Helm of Discord down. Let's get Reanimate upgraded to regen some of the hit points of the combatants in this zone. Let's fire down some shrapnel. It goes off in a couple of seconds, doing some damage, and then we shall use Venom Surge to knock some of these forces back. Looks like this Tomb Scorpion is taking an absolute beating. I am going to try and get it out of the settlement, but I don't think I'll be successful. Right now, we're bringing the Tomb Guard that have gotten onto the walls down into the fray. And we are praying that Restore comes up before we actually lose the Tomb Scorpion. Though I am not overly hopeful because Kroq does appear to have it out for him. We can do the spellcast here, actually. Let's do that, just to get some extra healing down. And now that we've got forces coming in over the wall, it looks like they have stopped focusing the Tomb Scorpion for now, which is good. Let's get our artillery to start shooting into some of these massed units. We'll begin moving up with the secondary army here. The Tomb Scorpions we will send to the blob around the gate. Get them involved there. I want to make sure that Khalida is focusing Kroq as much as possible, but whether or not that is the case, I'm not entirely sure. And I do want to pull the Tomb Scorpion that's near Kroq out of combat, but whether or not we'll be able to do that, I think, remains to be seen. We'll get a nice Legions of Asaph here, where they're getting clumped up on the corner. That'll hopefully allow us to get some hefty damage down. Our Necropolis Knights are taking a beating, as is the Tomb Scorpion. I am trying to get the Tomb Scorpion out, but I don't know if I'm going to be successful in that endeavor. I'm going to cast as many spells as I can momentarily, just to try and buff the healing on it. We'll get the reanimate here as well, get the charge through. And maybe the Venom Wave will allow me to buy enough space to get him out of this combat. Not entirely sure. It's looking pretty rough for that Tomb Scorpion right now. And the other Tomb Scorpion hasn't even entered combat, which surprises me quite a lot. Now that we've got the Shabti coming down here, we're going to force them to, well, yeah, join this clump, I think. I don't think we got much of a choice on that one. Get Sikop to do that. And we will, with our, I don't know if we can cast anything. We might not be able to save the Tomb Scorpion. Saving Private Tomb Scorpion might be a forlorn hope today, which I would not be the biggest fan of. But that's okay, if it happens, it happens. Let's get our extra skeleton warriors onto the wall. Let's get some up here as well, onto the walls. Let's send the leadership contingent round, because we want all of our leadership there if possible. Okay, looks like this Tomb Scorpion is still crumbling and has managed to bugger itself up a bit, really. Yeah, that's a little awkward, but the other Tomb Scorpion might have bought it some time. It's drained, it's got a stable binding, it's not dying right now. I like that. Let's get an Incantation of Blades down to drop some healing on it because of the Restless Dead spell. You know, all the spells we cast do healing, which is going to help us out a lot right now. Let's drop the Legions of Asaph on this running group here. Let's get the reanimate down as well, so that Khalida can... Come on, Khalida. It's rallying. It's rallying! Oh, will it live? There is another Necrotect. Huzzah. Let's get the regen down. No, Stegodon, no. Bad Stegodon. Stay away, Stegodon. We lost it. It went down, but we can recruit one in the neighboring region in a couple of turns, so. Even though, you know, we were making a big deal about saving Private Tomb Scorpion for most of this battle, I don't think it's going to end up mattering. Let's get our warriors down off the walls here. Get Rakash in as well, push Khalida forwards. I mean, at this point, we just kind of need to spill our forces into the settlement. Just make sure that everything we need inside is inside, doing damage. We can also begin to pull some of the damage stuff back through our own units, just to make sure that they survive. And it looks like we are going to have the mass rout very quickly, at the front at very least. Going to want to start putting some of our more combat-oriented warriors into the front line over here just to help out with the Nehekara warriors. And we do have a couple more Tomb Scorpions somewhere that apparently haven't really gotten into the fight yet, so let's get them into the fight as well.
Serve me. Obey me. Ascent.
Sadly for the Tomb Kings, we do look like we are going to take some minor casualties, but you know what? To take out a settlement containing the last faction leader of a faction we've been at war with for quite some time, I think I will accept the losses of a few units here. And they're no problem at all.
High Queen Khalida.
At this point, I do think that we are going to have slightly more friendly fire issues with our artillery than not, so I am going to stop it firing. And I think actually we are going to have the mass rout momentarily. It's really just a couple of small units that are hanging on for the lizards at this point. Most of the ones that are hanging on haven't entered the fight yet, and there they go!
Queen of us.
Kroq is fleeing. His army in tatters. Grimlock carries him towards the only chance of safety he has left, abandoning the temple cities of his new home. All said and done, the last defenders failed in their last defense, and we lost a single Tomb Scorpion to secure the victory.
My queendom expands.
And with that, some mounts have been gained, a new regiment of renown, a Necrosphinx has been unlocked, and the last defenders have been destroyed. Well,
Bring me Neferata's head.
you know what? We lost the Tomb Scorpion,
My will be done.
so here's the plan.
The king moves.
We will give
The day of awakening comes.
we will take a Tomb Scorpion from this army. We will give our Ushabti warriors to them. We will also give our... We'll give him a unit of archers. And I am going to take the Necrotect from this army. He will get a new one. But we're going to have 2 Necrotects. And then, instead of getting a new Scorpion, we are going to put the Regiment of Renown Necrosphinx into the army and restore our power that way. Rakash has a full strength force now. Khalida as well. And we are going to issue a trespassing warning next turn if they don't leave. But because the ownership of the settlement just changed, I'm going to be lenient and give them a couple of moments to evacuate my territory before I start getting mad about it. We're going to give Sefkot Desert Strike. We're going to give Earthing to Sanact. We are going to give the Inscription of Repair for extra casualty replenishment to Constructs.
Bring me Neferata's head.
And we are going to give Sefkot, who apparently leveled up twice, another point in over my dead body. In Rakash's army, we are going to give Rakash Revered Stonemasonry, buffing up those Ushabti even more. Tomb Strike for his Tomb Prince, and for his... For his Lich Priest of Death, Evasion. I do like to keep you guys in the loop a little bit with this, but honestly, most of the skill points are... You know, it's not the most interesting thing to do. Now, the plan is to put some walls and a public order building in this settlement. Rakash is then going to guard this border, and Khalida is going to make her way home. Once Khalida has made her way home, we are going to take the war to Khorne. We're going to try and drive back Skarbrand. Dangerous business discussing fighting Skarbrand, but there's not much we can do about it. It's something we're going to have to do at some point.
Do not let my death mask unnerve you.
Cetra wants a trade agreement, and we shall take it, because it will give us some resources we don't have. The Skull Takers are going to continue to bully Lybaris, and I'm going to continue to be very mad at them for it. Because now they've downgraded the settlement again.
My dynasty reigns supreme.
We're going to take out Nubzub. We're going to take marches on rather than the replenishment, and we are going to keep moving towards Lybaris. I am very unhappy with the amount of damage he has done to Lybaris. That is, quite frankly, unacceptable, but that's what happens when you tell the orcs that they can go get fucked in your own lands. And that is where we are going to call this an episode. We have defeated the last defenders. All of our foes have been taken down, or at least all of the major ones. The Ironbrow's expedition lost their mountain range. The last defenders lost their temple cities. And though there might be a new lizard man threat on the horizon, for now our western border is secure. These episodes come out on Mondays and Fridays. If you've been enjoying them, please do hit the like button, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.